need to have fun. I do when he's drawing a gun, like a megaton running over everyone.
Whether chilling in the lab, equation pen and a pad, meditate on the universe down to an atomic mass. To Disney would be crass, opposition comes in last. Yeah, we straight from the sewer, but y'all ninjas just trash. You gotta be out your mind trying to mess with the team. A warrior keeps it chill, calm and serene, till a villain pops up in the civilian's path. And I step in and play whack-a-mole with my bow staff. Late night heroes, bright lights of the city, cruising in that turtle van, and I got the whole crew with me. Lasers on the roof, computers in the back, hooked up by yours truly. Shredder, where you at? Divide the pie, subtract the whack, add the fact that we hold it down in every city on the map. Multiply by the brain power I possess. That's a recipe for success. Yes.
I do it, I need to have fun. I do it, he's drawing a gun, like a megaton running over everyone.
You know the space, you've seen it on the Tizu, reporting on the issues, the saga continues. There's a whole slew of people chasing after me, further than the eye can see, it runs in the family. Blocking and knocking these haters out with my click. All we need is some kicks, cause we do's it like this. Shower you with our turtle power, any given day, any given hour. But ninja wanna start some drama, Leo go to work with your katana, watch him. Slice it and dice it up, tell your homeboys better beware. Here comes Michelangelo with his chucks, sing you running straight back to your lair. Ooh, join on up with Donnie and Ralph, take a little ride, we'll head out south. On the rail line or on a damn rhyme, won't you step up, don't make us have to go off. Don't make this harder than it has to be. Take us to your leader, we gon' shred him like he wants to be.
I do it, I need to have fun. I do it, he's drawing a gun, like a megaton running over everyone.
I dominate the landscape from video games to fame. Across the range of America, the Great Plains. Chicago sewers got less rats than back home. What would you do if you lived under the thrones? Yeah, I had to move, cause the groove was lost in New York. The foot soldiers adored, so I moved and got a new sport. And now I'm staining milks on a magnificent mile, extra deep dish style. But once in a while, I recall giant balls falling downstairs. But I ain't scared, I got my ninja powers and I'm always prepared. Don't stare, I might be a little green, but you'll be envious of my fighting machine. Skills, pills, I never pop. I keep my body hot. I can cock any robot on the block. Stop the presses, my bros are swinging by in the van. It's pizza time, so pork rinds, label what's crammed.
The path that leads to what we truly are is long and difficult. But only by following that path do we achieve our goal.
I do it, I need to have fun. I do it, he's drawing a gun, like a megaton running over everyone.
Red chucks on, nose ring swingy, purple mohawk with some shades for the framing, Benz in my framing, thieves for the Franklin, call steady rock, hit the blocks in the bank, and
unlike the break, these grenades is a statement to blow a few holes in my foes, leave them stankin'. Moves in arrangement, hoofs hit the pavement, clan in the van, crew armed and we dangerous. Swerve through the lanes and gotta start gunning. Cops on our ass through the roof, start busting. Start puffing, mash on the gas as I ash on the dash, bouncing bombs off the glass. Clean from the scraps, made it sound like a rap. Sweat on my horn, dabbed it off with a scrap. Turned to my right, all I heard was a tap. A sigh in my grill, green toes in my lap.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children, all ages. I'm live in England. Wow, collision's happening right now, and so Zoro's swinging. Oh no, poor Adam Cole, baby, he's down and out. Una, dos, nope. And now go to the cross-face. Gosh, there's so many people using that move anyway. But yeah, here we are live here on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here on this Thursday evening. Hope you're having a good time. Hope you're having a blessed time. And, well, we got some stuff here. Got some stuff to talk about. And let's get into it. Hopefully it won't take you. Hopefully y'all will sit back and enjoy the entire stuff here. Now, Claudio is looking very pissed off. He wants to end this poor boy. Let them be more rabid. I think that's his. Bam! Oh, right in the chest. Super kick to the chest. Uno. Dose of the kick. All right, let's get to, but yep, here we are. We're going to talk a little about, wrestling and wrestling stuff. Because it's a wrestling heavy show. So let's get into one of the big shows. We're not talking about Paul White. We're talking about, WrestleMania. Okay, let's see. Put this right here. The WrestleMania cards are now in previewing. And quite honestly, the build has been pretty much terrible, and their PR has been pretty worse. You have, your two on It Is What It Is podcast, the Street Profits saying, yeah, we got in the main event. It sucks, but, well, we have to do what we have to do. And meanwhile, you have Nick Khan saying that, we don't bench people. Meanwhile, you have Street Profits not being in the main event. You have Natalya barely even showing up at all, and then appearing on a tag team turmoil, and then her time gets cut off. A pointless tag team turmoil thing. Omos has been disappeared since he went to Japan. He won the GAC the tag belt. He was having a good old happy time, but they just had to bring him back home for reasons. I don't get it. I don't get this. I never do. It's just basically that type of stuff. Then you have Roman basically acknowledging Trump and everything else. Yeah. Been through all that stuff. And now he's basically, him and Hunter basically are bromancing. Say, this is he thinks he's doing a great job. Meanwhile, the tariffs are basically rising up, and one of the most important consoles and such are, going to be delayed. That's going to piss off the gamers and such, and it's going to continue to get worse. In fact, I think let me see something right quick. Oh yeah, we're going to preview that, but I know there was a story about this. Make sure. According to this, ladies and gentlemen, current to the tariffs and such, the gamers have not really had a big win of wins. Not like Adam Cole. Adam Cole, victory. Yeah. Yeah, not in the mood. Claudio was taking the loss pretty well. He got a little blood in his arm, but he's looking at people. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Calm down. And, he's not going to... And there goes the... Yeah, if you're not getting fined now, he's going to get fined later. Oh, jeez Louise. Dude, you know what's money? Nah, great. That table, man, that table has a family. Oh, no. Wait a minute. Moxley just stopped and tell him to stop beating the table. My gosh, he had a family. But yeah, anyway, speaking of all that stuff, here's what I was talking about. Square Enix stops pre-orders in United States due to Trump tariff concerns. Let's see, we're going here. Square Enix has held to select product pre-orders, saying tariffs incentives stemming from the Trump administration's trade policies. The decision professionally affects all Square Enix fans, not just in North America. For all effects is in North America, not just the United States. As was the case of his first term, President Trump made tariffs the centerpiece of his economic policies, and at the sake of his second office, the efforts to other countries to do new trade deal negotiations. Yeah. So yeah, of over like 150% tariff, I think it's gone higher at this point, and yeah. So yeah, there's gonna be some terrorist books and all this other stuff saying they're not even gonna try to, uh, pre-orders and such. So yeah, Switch YouTube pre-orders, and now the the pre-order page of Square Enix, all those Game Master cards, Final Fantasy cards, sleeves, and everything else. Pre-orders are now. Phew, there you go. So yeah, it's not looking pretty good. You know, so yeah, it's not looking good. And then you have what's going on in the whole immigration stuff here. I mean, recently you have like you had a person being deported legally. You had the Supreme Court say, "Hey, bring this man back." But guess what? They said, "No, we're not going to do that." It's the old Andrew Jackson line. Like, I've seen the court's ruling. Let's see how they can enforce it. And that is not a good way to govern. And, old Roman Reigns and Trump, like, oh, this is great. This is just like heel work. I'm like, God damn, these people are idiots. These are idiots. So much idiot. Hmm. So yeah, so this is the really bad stuff here. And now all that terrible PR aside, we got WrestleMania. Oh, by the way, and you know, by the way, let me just say this. I like the fact that they also say, "Oh, Jey Uso's not the best wrestler, but he really gets a crowd." Man, what are you doing? Vince would have choked him out. You think Vince would have accepted? He said, "Oh, Vince would be like, yeah, he's great. I don't know what you're talking about. He's a great wrestler." That's what he would do. Vince told us for many times, John Cena's stuff, he's just unorthodox. Like he is a good wrestler, even though at times he wasn't. But they kept hammering home over and over and over again. And he did not he kept that going. He didn't just outright do this type of stuff. It's just stupid. Ugh, the idiocy, the absolute idiocy of this man. Anyway, let's get into the matches of the WrestleMania night one. Here we go. We have I think the first match is going to be the World Heavyweight Championship, Gunther versus the Jey Uso. Jey Uso wins. Gunther he will not only Gunther will lose, he will get bloodied, and Jey Uso will win his first singles championship. And Gunther will go all the way down to Evolve, and we will never hear from him ever again. Yes, I have that. Next up, we have the Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair in the most okay, like it's the okay type of thing. They're just trying so hard to make something, and Stratton and Flair is so like I don't know what it is. It was just anti-chemistry. And I hope the match will do better, but right now, I just don't care. I really don't care about this match at all. It's sad, but that's what it is. Next up, you have Tag Championships, War Raiders, New Day. I thought it was going to be, I thought this would be hardcore type of match, but no, it just feels like just a regular tag match. Maybe Big E will get involved, maybe not, because New Day, after that big heel turn, nothing. Absolutely nothing. They have pissed that thing away. Pissed it away, ladies and gentlemen, at that Crash Bandicoot stage and such. I don't know which game, but yeah. Next up, we got the Rey Mysterio versus El Grande and Lacamo. Mysterio wins. Chad Gable gets a match. Yes, it's Chad Gable. I know I don't care. And, and we all move on from this. The match I think will be very interesting to build and such is Naomi, Jade Cargill. Honestly, it feels missing without Bianca because I feel like Bianca is one of the main players. It just feels incomplete. I do think I would not be surprised if Naomi gets the victory helped by Bianca, and that will set up Jade Cargill coming in revenge, or have a 2-woman power trip as Bianca, do that type of stuff. Would be very interesting to see that. Then we get to Knight versus Fatu. Fatu wins, or if it's going to be something like that, I think it would be Fatu. I think Fatu wins U.S. title would be nice, but I see LA Knight retaining. Solo costume, and that will be Fatu's like saying, "I don't love you, Solo," and whoop his ass. That's what it is, and I think that's what's going to happen. And then we get to our triple threat main event, our 4-night main event extravaganza. Seth Rollins, Roman the Maga Reigns, and CM Hypocrite Punk. But anyway, let's get. I think this will be a good little triple threat match. I don't care. I don't care. But yeah. Anyway. Oh, we got. By the way. The LFI is back, so they will do stuff now. It's cool. So. Yeah. Anyway. Anyway, let's keep this going. I think it's going to be a surprise. I think Seth Rollins will pick up the victory, and Roman Reigns and Punk will probably continue to argue, and Seth Rollins will use that to his advantage, and I think he will win. That's what I see it happening in the first night. Seth Rollins, I think it wouldn't surprise me if he does pick up the victory. Next up is night 2, Styles, Logan Paul. I think it should probably be a decent match. I think Logan Paul will win because, reasons. I don't know, something for his reality show. Sin City Street Fight, Priest, McIntyre. I think McIntyre finally gets a big win over Damian Priest, and we continue on this feud coming in, maybe ending around Money in the Bank, so maybe Drew can actually do something and build him up for the championship situations and such. We got Braun Breaker versus Dominic Mysterio versus Penta and Finn Balor. I'm going to go crazy here. I think it's going to be Penta winning because Balor and Mysterio will half at it, and Penta will get his first major championship, and they will celebrate. I think Penta will finally get that big championship push, and Breaker will be, I think they're priming him to become a world champion soon, and that's what I think it is. Next up, that's why I see it. Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Lia Valkyria. I see Bayley and Valkyria winning, but losing quickly because of the next match. Because I think Liv Morgan and they don't need those tag belts and something like that. I think they'll be fine without them for a while. I think they'll be okay. I think they'll be just fine without them. That's what I see. I see them just being just fine without the belts. I think they'll be just fine without them. I think they'll be a legitimate threat to them. And yeah, that's why I see something like that. That's what's going to happen. And I think they will lose titles. Bayley and Victoria will have a short reign, and the winners will be this. Like I said, it will be Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. I believe Sky will be the one pinned thanks to helping Naomi, or Jade Cargill gets involved. But I think Naomi will get involved, help Bianca win, and she will get the tag belts from Bayley and Leia, and they have a heel run with them. And then I think Bianca, I think you could have her, Naomi win the Intercontinental Championship as well. You really have that type of real dominant type of thing, that sort of stuff. I know that Naomi's on SmackDown, but I just don't care. But yeah, have her win the Intercontinental Championship. That's that sort of thing. And the women's tag belts with Bianca, and them just have them run roughshod for a while, a 2-woman power ship. And then you can have Bayley and Valkyria fight from underneath, or have a new tag team or something, or a new person to get there or something like that, because I think that would be something good. You could, build that up. And then we get to our main event. Cody Rhodes versus John. Sean turned his back on his child fan Cena. He turned his back on him. He turned to a villain and now he is evil. Yes. So I think this is what's going to happen. And I personally think this. I think Cena wins Law, or he loses Cody. And so I think maybe he loses to Cody Rhodes. And I think Cena will continue to try to be villainous and heel, but he'll slowly start turning to light, because I don't want to see him stay a heel and stay to that position of badness and such, because I think him failing to do this, but yet having a good long championship run and everything else, and finding someone else in that position, maybe a Braun Breaker or someone like that, like late in and saying, you're a loser, John. You fail every time. How The Rock dumps him, and he's trying to do all this stuff up, and he starts to really train again and everything else, and then the last minute, and then he finally beats Braun Breaker at, like, I don't know, Survivor Series or something. He gets his last championship because he earned it. He hustled. He became loyal again. He had respect again, and that's what he should do. And then he says he's going to retire this belt, and he says thank you to people and just walk off in the sunset. That's what that should be. Personally, I feel like that's what it is. Without worrying about my preview of WrestleMania, I think it's going to be a very interesting Mania, to say. That's what I see, and I think that's going to be a very long, fun WrestleMania show, or it could be just completely like the build and completely and totally pointless and mid. That's what could be. Hopefully not, but I just don't have any type of feelings towards this card, and I hate that. But that's just my personal opinion. Anyway, want to hear your thoughts on this? Comment section below, all that good stuff. Anyway, we'll be right back right after this little musical ditty. And once that, once that happens, we're going to talk about some New Japan Wrestling stars. Some New Japan Wrestling stars, the big ones. Naito and BUSHI are Donzi. I can't wait. That is the big news. We'll talk about that later here on the lounge. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening to me, Dukect T. We'll be right back right after this.
Outside on the corner where I caught the bus, thinking in my head it's colder than I thought it was. Sometimes life is like that, and you just quiver your lips, whisper a wish, hoping someone might give us deliverance. Now deliver this message, think I could live with this message. You could just give a few seconds to come and sit in my presence. And yes, it is so precious, yes, it is a blessing. Next, I'll attempt to express it with every heavy breath, cause just to make it worth it, and just to make it real, you always made it perfect, and that's the way I feel. Sometimes we think too much, and we lose control, but it's not what you know, no, it's who you know. Days that will not end, I'm sure you've had them too, wishing you're still in bed, and yet we have to move. This is what passion do, this is what passion does. It's on my planets too, start sending back the love. Snowflakes fell like a gift from the skies, and teardrops swelled when I lifted my eyes. And it was surely just brightness that had informed in me, while the storm in the streets was adorning the trees, and it clothed each branch with a layer of the purest snow. And this miracle was a little less than a year ago. Now summer's almost over, the weather's growing colder, approaching frozen soldiers, a Minnesota soldier. Backpack on my shoulder, days on shoulder, I spend most alone. Still growing older, feeling lonesome though I'm close to home. I'm the city bus and both are closing, I'm the open road. My soul is swollen though I'm holding on, and so it goes. And sometimes when it's dark, I look up at the stars, think about how small we are, but at least we have hearts. Getting past my speeding cars on these streets of ours. I want to be the cause for someone's grief to pause, cause just to make it worth it, and just to make it real.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching and being here. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And most of the majority of the music is used in the OC Remix. Go look at that. They have a great library of music and all that good stuff. If you want to have good video game music, you want to sit and vibe with, go to their website. You will not be disappointed. And now we get to one of the big shows and the shocking stuff. Yes, Tetsuya Naito and BUSHI will be departing the company May 4th and such. And it's like, wow. It's like, and the quote here says, in recent weeks, conversations have been ongoing between New Japan Pro Wrestling and Tetsuya Naito's regarding Naito's future wrestling activities. As a result of those conversations, both parties have mutually agreed not to renew Naito's contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Both parties have arrived at this decision after careful consideration and lengthy conversation. Naito's contract ends in the best possible terms of New Japan Pro Wrestling, which joins fans in wishing Naito's future success in all future endeavors. And BUSHI they're supposed to be most partying, and then BUSHI just looks like it's just he's just leaving. I think he's just rolling out with his boy Naito, and I think those two are connected to the hip. But yeah, he is one of the most he's 42, but he's always had the greatest Japanese wrestlers of his era. He's won the IWGP Heavyweight Championship twice, and he's won the IWGP Championship 3 times. He's 6-time IWGP Intercontinental Champion, and he has won multiple G1 climaxes, and he has connections to the people, and still sells out shows. And Los Esmeraldas de Japan is one of the most highest merch sellers in New Japan. And right now, New Japan is struggling. The combination of AEW, WE, and basically taking on talent. Remember, once upon a time, Shinsuke Nakamura, you got Finn Balor, you had many others. Oh, AJ Styles, that sort of stuff has been in the whole Bullet Club and New Japan and such. They really did some big, they really had that type of, oh wow, these big, huge stars. That sort of stuff. They had that type of, they had those really stars that really connected with people. That is one of the main things I liked about, you look at New Japan is that, where I did see it, I always saw the crowd just connecting with these people, and the way the matches were so different from WE and most American wrestling at the time. And now they're these Star Wars guys who are older, and they, the body's a bit worn down, especially in Naito's case. They're just like, you know what, maybe it's time for them to take a break, and maybe that's the best solution for everybody. And I think that right now, New Japan needs to make new stars. They need to actually start building up their roster again. They need to do that right now. But yet, that sort of thing. I think that is something that they really need to start doing, building new stars and doing. And the most painful process of it is letting go some older talent in the sinking and swimming. And it's too much. It's going to be a little bit rough for them. They need to start signing their guys. You need to see David Finlay. You need to sign Gabe Kidd. You need to sign all these people. Be like, okay, this is what we're going to be doing. And to build this type of stuff, ladies and gentlemen, they need to start building up. So I think that's what I think. I don't think he's going to be WE or AEW. I think he's just like, Naito is done. I think he's just like, you know what? Let me just relax with my body and such. I think that's what it is. I think Naito is just going to be like, sit back and chill for a good long while. And when he comes back, he will be emotionally, physically, and maybe, ready to get back into the game. And I think at the end of the day, that is probably what is best for everybody. Best, as one, idiot would say, best for business. And Commander with a big kick back here. Oh, Nick Wayne is not looking good. Not looking good so far. Oh, well. Anyway, by the way, doing Collision. I'm calling Collision, everybody. I hope you like that. It goes up in a nice little, oh, there he goes. Yes, it's AEW and New Japan are linked and such and all that stuff. So it all connects. I know Bushi might be in AEW. I think I wouldn't be surprised if he might do a show or two. I would not be surprised if he comes around to do like a Ring of Honor or maybe a Forbidden Door type of situation. I think they might just show up, but I don't think they're going to be signed. That's what I feel like. I don't think they should be. But yeah, I think that's what's going to be the most interesting stuff out here. I could be wrong, and I could be something that a lot of people are waiting, what to see. I think that is going to be what we are the next couple of years. What New Japan is going to look like, building new stars, building up for the next generation. That's going to be the real focus. That's going to be the true showing of these talents and such. What's going to be in the next 2 to 3 years, or 4 years, and 5 years going forward in New Japan Pro Wrestling in this new age. But that's just my personal opinion. I think it's just going to be a very interesting time, a very, very fun time as well. And kick up. But yeah, I think it's going to be a very fun time, and it's going to be something that in the next couple of years, I think it's going to be New Japan is going to probably be in a better place. Call me crazy. I think that New Japan will be in a better place in a couple years, and it will have just a built up. And I think right now it's going to be a painful period. But when they do finally build up, they're going to be a lot stronger for it. Yeah, my personal opinion. Anyway, we'll be right back. Thanks so much for listening. And when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about something that's not coming back, a Tomb Raider show that is now basically done by Amazon. And I have my thoughts on that right after this little break here. We'll be right back here live on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here on this Thursday evening. And I'm going to say this right now, Wayne. Oh, he's getting up for Wayne's World. Wayne's World. No, 619, and he knocks his knee out and everything else. A Commander. Oh, a big old destroyer. And oh my goodness, Wayne with his head, man, he's been, getting a crowd in his head. Now he got now his mat he went to the head through the mat. And it's like the fact that they just have beautiful moonsault by Commander. And by the way, I do love the fact that after Claudio killed off that desk, they had Tony and Nigel. Oh my goodness, had to basically be like, we're not doing our commentary without desks. Man, oh gosh, AEW, man, never change. Oh, it looks like he might hit it. Good counter with the knees right there. It looks like Wayne might do it. He's going to be new TV champion. Oh, with a nice kick. Let's see it. I think this might be the finish of the match. He's going to do it. He's going to win it. He's going to win for his daddy. He's going to win for his daddy. And a big fisherman bomb right there. 1 and a 2 and a... No, my gosh, he won? Holy crap. He actually won? Holy mother of goodness. Wow. Wow. He actually did it. The TV championship. Well, wow. I did not see that coming. Nick Wayne. Well, talk about pushing your young stars. Tony Khan, man. Oh, well. Well, the patriarchy is happy. Tough love for Christian. Tough love. That's what you got to do it right there. And I'm like, wow. Nick Wayne, the champion, that's what you got to do. I'm surprised. So, yeah, that's interesting. Man, Commander is in a very bad place, man. He lost his championship. Now, we got a hologram thing. Oh, little hologram. What's gonna happen here? Ooh, boom. Yeah, I did a lot of nice little promo. But yeah, Nick, that's what I'm talking about. Young stars, taking advantage of their opportunities. And that's what I think New Japan Pro Wrestling has to do. Not just championship victories. He returns next week. That's nice. They need to put in better storylines, bigger moments. So, that's what I've said. And then at the end of the day, if they don't do that, well, guess what happens, kids? You're going to have a lackluster main event and a lackluster show and lackluster audience participation. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to say. But, I'm going to take a small break. I said that like 5 minutes ago. But yeah, I'm going to take a break right now. We'll be right back right after this here live on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for watching and being here with me, Duke CT. We'll be right back right after this. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you much for being here. And well, let me just get this there, the screen. Yep, it's happened again. Another TV show that's basically been reportedly DOA has been because of tens of million dollars of development costs. It was on in no script. Tomb Raider. Oh, yes, remember Tomb Raider, that movie? That was Angelina Jolie. You had that remake no one cared about, but most people care about is the games. I know there was a animation, an anime that was on Netflix. Didn't check that out. I was like, didn't really catch my thing, but the games are pretty decent. Let's see. Following years of rumors, Amazon Prime Video officially revealed plans for a new TV series based on Tomb Raider games in May 2024. It had Philip Walker-Bridge, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, a producer, the creator of Fleabag, and Heather of Killing Eve. And up on Phantom series, it's like they were going to do. She was going to be all this type of stuff, and then supposedly that the Daily Mail, which it's an iffy type of site, whatever. But it looks like said source that Laura Cross muted small screen adventures are not going ahead. While another source is even more ambiguous, it says the project is dead. Neither Prime Video nor Waller-Bridge representatives have commented. And this is April 10th, 2015. This has been a week and it hasn't been talked about since. And they haven't done any updates yet. So, yeah. This is not the first time Westworld Productions and they signed her for like $20 million a year with her. Like, they signed this up like, oh, we gotta give this big, we're gonna really care about Walter Bridge scripts and everything else. But they have not since 2019. There has a huge deal, and none of her projects have been shown. No shows or films from the creator. Either the creator is not really. There has to be something. Oh, let's get rid of that. What is going on with this type of stuff? What is the story behind this type of, what's going on with this story? What's going on where you have this type of, again, these type of things? The deal's been under, all this type of stuff, but yeah, here we are. No shows, nothing. There since 2019. It is, it's been like what 6 years, and there's no shows or films. I know these things take time, but what are you doing, wasting your money on this person, and you have nothing to show for it? Who is managing the money here? That's what was under the Jennifer Salke, who was exactly. Jennifer Salke, who greenlit and was overseeing the Tomb Raider project, and was head of Amazon Studios until just last week. Yeah. Let me just see if we can find this Jennifer Salke. Yeah, exactly. She's yeah, she's one of the reasons. I think a lot of it, she's been Jennifer Salke. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. Jennifer Salke. She was the head of Amazon MGM Studios in a moving to a production deal. Real corporate reshuffling. Prime Video and Amazon MGM Studios head Mike Hopkins just announced in the middle of the staff she won't be replaced. Instead, head of film Courtney Valley and head of TV Vernon Sanders will now report directly to Hopkins. And it's because stuff was increased in recent months regarding the status of Salke and Amazon. She joined in 2018 after a long stint on NBC and then 20 Fox. Both Hopkins and Salke said it was her decision to make the change. As far as Salke's exit, she plans to launch her new single via a first look TV and film deal at Amazon MGM Studios. And yeah, she has been in this thing for a while and flattening the studios. That just this whole she had, like I said, Salke has like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Reacher, and The Boys and Fallout, all these type of really stuff here. But yet she couldn't really get. There's some stuff that like I said, there's let's see, The Idea of You, Red, White and Warrior Blue, the sequel to Roadhouse, which is meant to start a sequel, the black comedy Saltburn, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. But yeah, you look at what she also was a part of, the $700 million to make the Ring of Power. Like just the budget alone is such a horrible thing, the budget alone is just really, just amazing, amazingly terrible. Then you have the international. I watched that series for 2 episodes. I hated the Citadel. Gosh, and they try to make it a thing. And then I'm like, no. After 1 or 2 episodes, I'm like, this show sucks. And it cost what? $250 million. Then you got the Christmas action movie Red One, which is meh. It's meh. It's mid. Is that's what it is. And yeah, mixes also those projects that let talk to Amazon rethinking some of its strategy and being more selective with its spending. Yeah, and then you have the departure come off like when James Bond franchise is now basically having true, like Amazon has total control of James Bond. So yeah. Yeah, they basically did again in the Sundance Fair, but I think with this, um, they're gonna do like I think they're gonna be bigger blockbusters now, or they're gonna be like Netflix and just have like that, more of that slop thing that just like you can watch in the background, no one really cares. But I hope that's not the case, because look, I mean, MGM has Bond, Pink Panther, Rocky. I think Creed 3 was a huge success. Legally Blonde getting a stuff, and then you got a prequel series, which is fine. The Thomas Crown Affair with studio star Michael B. Jordan directing the remake, which looks to be pretty interesting. That sort of stuff. So I think there is something here for it. But when you look at stuff like this, you know, um, stuff like hold on a second. When you look at these things have been around for so long, um, when you have shows like this, being in the backstage and such, it doesn't really help. It just is like, oh, you're not doing in this development hell, you look and say you did have hits, but the misses cost the studios and such money, and they're like, is this going to be another thing? It's just like this person overseeing and announcing the series pickup and going through 2 writers' rooms and tens of millions of dollars development cost, and there's no script. What's going on? What is this management structure? And there was going to be supposedly a new game, but then Amazon's not. Maybe they're going to be like, okay, we haven't confirmed this yet, but I think it's probably is going to be canceled. And if this, I haven't, there's no news on this subject. So once again, it goes right to me. The problem with this is like these streaming services and shows, there's no staying power. Like, why would I want to watch something? It's only be 8 episodes, and it just, even if it's good or bad, there's no real second season. And it's either like 8 episodes, either you binge it or I'm like, it's done. And that's why I can't really watch most of these TV shows now, is that I can't get attached because look at how much of productions and everything else. These are not TV shows. These are not seasons. These are just miniseries. These are like, they are miniseries that are like 8 hours, highly produced, and to a point that it's like there's no way for the studios can ever get their money back. And you're just like, and they're like, wow, we spent how much money on this? No, we can't do this. So yeah. And by the time they do want to do a second season, it's like 2 or 3 years later, and most people have forgotten about it. So honestly, that's to me the absolute worst situation. The worst situation here, ladies and gentlemen, is this whole mess of streaming. This whole mess of like, there's no real connection to the audience right now. It just feels like you're just spending money to spend money. And I'm like, man, I don't want to watch. I hate this show. I hate the fact this is happening. You look at stuff like The Pit, who is like, they got like 15 episodes. And we have the issues like, oh, this, that, and the other. At least it has a second season on the way. And it might have like, happened, recently, soonish compared to, what's going on and everything else. I hate the fact that shows like just like don't exist anymore. Like having a good like 13 or 14, like 15 episode seasons are like, a miracle. Used to be like have 30 or 40 episodes. Now it's like, oh, we get maybe 15 or 16. Now that's the miracle. The crazy stuff, the absolute insane thing is like, it's 15 episodes, and the regular stuff is like 8 episodes. It's an 8-episode miniseries. 8-episode miniseries. And there's barely a connection at all. I mean, when's the last time you look at the Marvel stuff or something? Did you even like, it just feels like there's, other than WandaVision, I feel there's nothing like, there's no real good shows. And if you do have a good show, it's just like, it doesn't feel right. You know, it just doesn't feel connected. There's no connection. There's no real way of building, that type of foundation with the show. I hate the fact that these shows have no. It is so like, oh, it's not. It's not saying it's easy, but it's just. I feel like the studios have forgotten about these shows. The studios forgot how to make a good TV show. I feel like that's a lot of things that no one has. They've forgotten how to make a good TV show. And by the way, Chris Statlander, going in and boom, and back to that point. See if she can do a triple. Can she get that triple? Bam! 3 suplexes in a row. Yes, that is amazing. But yeah, let's see what else I was trying to say. Oh, when I cited, talk about the wrestling. It's the wrestling. The worst thing about it is that pro wrestling right now has more of a connection to its audience because it's there. They're more, it is more like connected and all this type of stuff to, in wrestling, and people were wrestling and everything because it's like for 2 days a year or something. It's consistent. The only consistent programming on streaming right now, the episodic format is wrestling. AEW, WWE, you could say TNA, but no one cares about TNA. You understand what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? Do you understand what I'm saying? The consistency is gone from these TV studios. There's no inconsistency. There's no consistent programming. It is so we don't have that anymore. The consistency is dead. Consistency is dead in America and in this type of landscape. And in Hollywood and such, it is their own damn fault for having that having the stuff there. It's the Hollywood really screwed this up. That's what I personally think, man. That's what I say, Could be wrong. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Anyway, that is it for the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you much for watching. Thanks so much for being here. Hit like, comment, and subscribe. All that good stuff. Thank you for listening. And listen to me, Duke CT. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.